And turning now to a story down south in Argentina, where the economy there, once again, in big trouble. Historically speaking, when Argentina stumbles, the rest of Latin America has a tendency to feel it. Which brings us to this moment a few months ago. You probably remember this. Elon Musk with this chainsaw. Well, this chainsaw was a gift from Argentina's President Javier Milei. It was a symbol of his plan to cut government spending and cut through bureaucracy, right? But this chainsaw was very on brand for Milei's libertarian disruptor approach that he brought to Argentina. And now Argentina is finding itself in some very dire financial straits. Argentina has a ton of debt. In fact, when you look at it right now, it owes more money to the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, than any other country in the world, over $40 billion. That currency right now is so weak that it would take almost 1,400 pesos, 1,367 Argentinian pesos to make $1 And despite all of this, with an election coming up, President Trump has this message for the Argentinian people. Watch.
And to the people of Argentina, we're backing him 100%. We think he's done a fantastic job. He, like us, inherited a mess, and what he's done to fix it is good.
Are you going to help bail out Argentina, Mr. President?
Well, we're going to help them. I don't think they need a bailout.
NBC News political analyst Carlos Curbelo joins us right now. Carlos, great to see you. Milei came in with like this bombastic free market approach to the economy down there, and he was like a darling across the United States on the right. What is happening right now in Argentina?
So, Gadi, that's right. Javier Milei is a true free market conservative, not like American conservatives that cut taxes and then borrow to make up the difference. Milei actually cuts taxes, and he also cuts spending, and he has introduced many austerity measures in Argentina. For a couple years, he's been quite successful. Markets have reacted well. Foreign investors have started pouring money in Argentina, but just this month, the opposition won critical provincial elections in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, and that has reduced confidence in Milei's ability to keep these reforms going. So that's why they're struggling now. And President Trump, who is very close to Javier Milei is by far his strongest ally and supporter in South America, is sending some very clear signals that he intends to help Argentina get through this difficult time.
That's so fascinating. I mean, you know, in Latin America, like he's called a mini Trump a lot of times. And yet what you're talking about, the opposition coming in and the confidence in some of these policies, is that what it all comes down to? Are these reactions like that knee-jerk reaction of market forces, or are they fundamentals here? Because so many in Latin America have been watching what happens in Argentina as a potential bellwether, right? And how do we know what is policy, and how do we know what is just these days the market reacting to whatever news is out there?
Well, that's right, Gadi, because, look, these reforms are important. They have made a difference. Argentina has needed to get its fiscal house in order for decades. Government after government has failed to do it. You have to give Milei some credit because he has tried. But what the markets want to know is if these reforms are sustainable. And if Milei loses support in Congress, if his coalition cannot control the Congress after the midterms, which will happen now in October in Argentina, what we're going to go through next year, they're going through this year, then these reforms can't continue. And you're going to see a big drop in confidence. And it's going to take a lot, including maybe support from the United States, for Milei to be able to continue this experiment.
Yeah, very interesting. So there's the markets, there's what Trump thinks, and there is also what other Latin American leaders think. What message do you think that this crisis is sending to the rest of South America and Central America right now?
Well, I'll be very honest with you, Gadi. I think the message to other South American and Central American leaders is that loyalty to Donald Trump matters. The reason that President Trump is willing to depart from his America First strategy, right, where the United States doesn't really focus on other countries. We just kind of look inwards at our own country. And this is what President Trump has run on since 2015, really. The message is that if you're loyal to Donald Trump, if you support Donald Trump on the international stage, he will try to help you. Now, if you disagree with him and if you get sideways with Donald Trump, you're not going to get any support. Right next to Argentina is Brazil, and that government is currently being punished by the United States with tariffs because President Trump doesn't like the way they're handling a trial against a former president who was a very close ally of President Trump. So loyalty really, really matters to Donald Trump. This is just another example of that.
Carlos Curbelo, thank you so very much for joining us.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.